Hey guys, Solid here, back again with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Spawn's Universe Monolith Mega Fig, brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys, as well as the beloved Aunt Tammy, avid supporter of the channel, maybe not tuning into every video, but has definitely contributed her fair share in terms of stuff I've reviewed on this channel. The last couple things I can remember are the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Pudgy Pig, and Mighty Minotaur from MMPR. So there you go. She has a reputation on the channel, a good reputation, unlike that punk-ass T-Biz who, well, we like to poke fun, right? Either way, shout out to her for picking this up for me for my birthday. That said, it was on sale on Amazon. Finally, after about a year, I think, they knocked him down to 40 bucks, and I knew that was a good enough price for her, so I sent her the link, and, well, here we are. So, there you go. And also, for the past 3 years now, good old Aunt Tammy has actually got me a Spawn's Universe-related figure for the past 3 years now. So, yeah, pretty crazy. Last year for my birthday, she got me Sam and Twitch, and the year before that for my birthday, she got me She-Spawn. So, how about them apples? Some consistency. That said, I don't know if it'll be the same case next year because, well, I don't know how much longer this line's going to last because it seems kind of dead in the water right now. But, you know, they did surprise us with King Spawn, Disruptor, and the Reaper late last year, so maybe I'll come out with a Tremor or something. But, you know, if it's a character I really want, like Medieval Spawn, I'll just shell out the money myself for it. But only time will tell, I guess. So before I get too far ahead of myself, why don't we cut right to the chase and get to the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all Monolith has to offer in terms of accessories. It's a figure stand. The trademark McFarlane Toys hockey puck display stand we're used to seeing with all their releases, nonetheless, with a little Spawn logo on it there. That said, if you think this guy needs a figure stand, you're stupid. So, setting that aside, he could stand just fine on his own, arguably better without the stand. He's not going anywhere, because not only has he got these big, they look like gargoyle feet, or Masters of the Universe feet on steroids, you know, the ones I'm talking about that are on Skeletor and Merman and, you know, other guys who use those feet. But on top of that, he's really tight. Like, he is not a loose, floppy mess like some McFarlane Toys figures. So that is worth of a thumbs up right there. But as far as articulation on this guy goes, his crazy head can look up and down a little bit. I wish he could get a little bit more up out of that. But, you know, he can look up, he can look down really well. So he can look at all those he towers above, because he is a big fella. Being a mega figure and all, he's going to be taller than the majority of your Spawn shelf, except maybe that giant chungus of a Violator we got a few years back. That said, he does have some tilt. He does have some rotation. Nice and tight, but not too tight. He's got like a mohawk of skulls, which is pretty badass, I'm not going to lie. And then he's got this creepy looking, or gnarly looking anyways, set of teeth. Like, gee whiz. He looks like Hamburger Head Spawn, but on roids with a mohawk of skulls. Again, that's just crazy. I've never seen that before. And then he's got more skulls on his shoulders. It looks like he killed Vengeance from Ghost Rider and is wearing them on his shoulders. Also kind of reminds me of Purgatory. She's got like the same type of skull pauldron game going on, so that's cool. That said, his shoulder articulation is limited by that, but you can get him up pretty far. I'd say if they made these a little softer, you could probably get the arm up a little more. But that said, they are genuinely soft. You don't got to worry about busting the teeth off or anything, so that's plus. His arms will rotate back and forth. And you can hear that inside. That's not a ratchet per se, but it is some tension in that joint that makes it not loose and floppy, and I do like that. He does have a little bit of shift back and forth, but not enough to really make it worth your while. He does have a single jointed elbow, which you can only get 2 clicks out of until you rotate it out to the side. 1, 2. And then you can get it up 3, but unless you do that, the spike on his wrist, which, by the way, those are very sharp and not very flexible. So I wouldn't say you have to worry about busting these off, but don't prick yourself on your Monolith doll. Don't be that guy who's got to wear 50 band-aids because he pricked himself on his Monolith doll. That's not a fun day. Not a good day. You're not gonna have a fun time. All right, so there is that. But yeah, these do get in the way of the elbow joint. But if you rotate the arm out a couple notches, you can bend it one more clip and get about 90 degrees out of it, I'd say. That said, he does have a swivel in the wrist. And it is just a swivel. It's not like the last Megafig in this line, the Omega Spawn, where you had a little ball hinge. And people were breaking that thing off, something terrible, so I hope that doesn't happen to mine whenever I decide to get one. Hoping by the time this video goes live, I have that figure, and any QC issues I have with it are resolved by the fine folks over at Big and Bad Toy Store, because they cool like that. That said, he does have a hinge as well in the wrist. I do prefer the hinge swivel wrist on these big guys because it's like the ball hinge just seems like overkill. Is that foreshadowing to somebody I'm going to bring out later? Maybe. But his arm down. His torso can crunch, actually, a little bit. You're not going to get a lot out of that. Like the head, I wish you got a little more out of it. You do get a little tiny bit of rotation out of it. The belt is soft, so it will kind of flex and get out of your way there, but yeah, not a whole lot going on there. And then as far as the legs go, you can kick them up about that far, I'd say, which is alright for a big guy. I mean, look at the size of his freaking thighs. He's going to crunch your skull between them things. And then this I like, this nice tight clicky joint here. I like that quite a bit. It goes out about that far before stuff starts to hit it, but it's nice and tight. It's got that nice tight ratchet clip to it. This side does it as well, but it's not as tight, but it's fine. It'll get the job done. It's not floppy loose, so that's a plus. And I will say, after posing this guy around, he will kind of, you know, ease up on the tension a bit. You just got to kind of get him moving. So I wouldn't be too afraid to move anything, because he's a big figure. He's got lots of big parts. I wouldn't say there's anything that you really got to worry about breaking on this guy. Again, because he's so freaking massive. He does have a thigh cut, though. Moving that out. A very generous one, if that. I mean, for a big guy, this thing moves quite a bit. And on this side, it's a lot easier. On this side, it does work. But it is a lot stiffer. So, there you go. As far as the knees go, he does have a single knee. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like you get quite 90 out of it. But that's good enough. He does also have a hinge in the foot. Golly gee willikers. But I gotta do this with two hands. Bend back that far. And then if you, let me just do this behind camera so I can apply the right amount of pressure without messing anything up. The feet are nice and tight on this guy. Again, a lot of the joints are nice and tight on this guy, but the feet especially, so he can stand right up. He has no problems with that. I neglected to mention he has a swivel in the knee, not below the knee, but above it, which if you're going to put anything in the knee, that's kind of where I prefer it to be. He doesn't have any kind of like ankle swivel other than the rocker, so that kind of sucks. You're a little limited there, but you can get him into some decent poses. And then he does have a toe joint, which is also pretty tight on both sides, and pickles at the bottom of the feet. If you want to use the stand, he does not need. So in a nutshell, that is Monolith. He is pretty cool. I like him a lot. I almost think I like him more than Medieval Spawn, which is a figure I shelled out money for when he first came out. So, yeah, I really like this figure. I think he's probably, I don't know, where do I rank him as far as the mega figures go? I really like Cygor. I really like the Violator. And I know that Cygor has issues, but I'd say this guy and Cygor are pretty neck and neck for me. I do really like him. But compared to this chap here, Overkill. See, I said Overkill earlier, and then I brought out Overkill. Overkill is a little bigger, but feels a lot cheaper than Monolith. I would say between the two, Overkill might weigh slightly more because of his size, but Monolith isn't that far off, and you could tell he's a little shorter. So, I don't know what to really make of that, but there you go. I would just say that Monolith seems to have a bit of an upgrade in quality. Maybe it's because he's a little smaller, but I'll take it. If it means the quality's going to be better, I'll take him a little bit smaller. Maybe lower the price if you're going to do that, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. Was on sale after all. But before I wrap this up, here he is alongside our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus, and of course, the star of Spawn's universe, the infamous 11 Spawn, or good old Al Simmons himself. And obviously Monolith is going to be bigger than these two. He is a mega figure after all. But on top of that, he's a premium member of the Men in Red and Black Club. I mean, looks like he's got red and black on, right? That said, he is also a premium member of the Guys in Spikes and Skulls Club, which is a new club I might open up, especially since we're going to be looking at a lot of Spawn stuff this week. So, with that being said, I think it is time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and compared to some of the previously released Mega figures in the Spawn universe line, I have to say that good old Monolith here is one of the better ones. Compared to the likes of Overkill and Omega Spawn anyways, Monolith feels of much better quality and aesthetically has a much better quality than some of those previously released Mega figures, not feeling quite as cheap and looking much better than some of those previously released Mega figures. And on top of the fact that he is an awesome figure in his own right, he was also a gift from my beloved Aunt Tammy, who I miss terribly and hope to see in the near to distant future. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.